Hey, what's up everyone? Codename Soap here, coming at you today with our redux, redone, sequel, redone, revamped Draco. We're coming back at you with Ask Soap Anything. Now, if you've seen the original series, this is going to be a little bit different than how the original Ask Soap Anything went. You guys still going to ask questions. I'm going to answer them, except I'm going to take a page out of the Book of Funhouse. I know, Draco. And namely their Dude Soup podcast. During their video podcast, they talk, but they have a game going, and I figured I can sit here and play a game while I answer these questions. I know, Draco. Multitasking. And that's what we're going to do, and we're going to try it out. So we're going to be playing some Rocket League because I love Rocket League. I love playing it. And that's what I'm going to do while I answer your questions. So I'm going to go ahead and find me a match. And while that's looking, we got a few questions specifically about this barking dog. Like, how old is Draco? What kind of dog is Draco? Why did you name your dog Draco? How old is Draco? How did his name come about? So, Draco, let's talk about Draco as I get into a game rather, well, actually kind of early, kind of late. I can't really tell. Playing on the new maps that have come out. But, Draco, so, I should say he will be 4 years old in July. He and I actually share a birthday, believe it or not. Whenever I adopted him, the Humane Society that I adopted him from basically said, like, hey, here's how old he is. He's almost a year old. He will turn a year old in July. My birthday is in July. And so I figured, well, I might as well, select him to have the same birthday as me. It makes sense. And so we have the same birthday. So his birthday is in July. It may not be the exact day that mine is, but that is, almost scored. But yeah, that's what's going on there is we have the same birthday. Adorable, I know. And whenever I got him, yeah, they said his birthday's in July. Cool. And that's the story of his birthday. But yes, he will be 4 in July. And I will be 32 because I am an old man. But anyway, so where did the name Draco come about? Well, that comes from the Latin word. Some say Italian. But whenever I found out it was Latin, I've always liked the name Draco, and it comes from the Latin Greek translation of Dracon, which means dragon, is what that means. Oh, get out of the goal! No! This is my house! No, I missed! Ah! Okay, so, yes, that basically the name Draco comes from the Latin for dragon. I know! And it's not just because, like, hey, I like Skyrim and all that. As a kid, I loved dragons. I had a book about dragons. Not like, Puff the Magic Dragon or anything like that. I mean, an actual, like, serious book about dragons. Go in! Goal! But yeah, I had a book about dragons. I've always thought dragons were really cool, and oddly enough, whenever before I got Draco, I was playing Dark Souls, and there is there's a place in there called Valley of the Drakes, and Drake is kind of the English, and by English I mean like England, European way of saying dragon. It's also the name of a duck, but in this terminology, we're going for dragon, and that's where his name comes from, is dragon. I didn't want to name him Drake because that's just not a good name for a dog. You know what I'm saying? I don't want him to be all that about that hotline bling, though. I know, Draco. I can only mean one thing. But yes, I know. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But his name basically is Latin for dragon. That's where the name came from. Oh, going up for an aerial. That didn't go the way I wanted it to, but oh well. We're only down by 1, which I'm fine with that. Okay, other than that, what kind of dog? What kind of dog is Draco? He is a mix. He is a Corgi and Lab mix. So he's got the kind of the hair, the fur, like a lab. It's the golden kind of color. Some of his facial features and his tail are very lab-like, but his legs, his short little doggy legs, and his kind of pudgy little body. Oh no! Oh yeah! that is all Corgi. He is a Corgi lab mix. He is cute. Now he's sitting. He's found a new spot that he's never discovered in the 3 years or so that I've had him, right here under my desk. He likes to sit like right at my feet. But yeah, Corgi and lab mix. He is adorbs to the max. He's furry. No, we got scarred on. No. Anyway, but yeah, he's Corgi lab mix. There you go. Simple answer. Corgi lab, a cute all around. But moving on from Draco, we got how old is he? What kind of a dog is he? Where did his name come about? That all got answered. So we're going to move on to another question. This was asked by Riptide. He asked a lot of questions. Riptide Gaming. But one question is, how did I come up with the username Codename Soap? So, this one, we're gonna go back in time in the Wayback Machine. And the way that name came about comes from a job I had at one point. A coworker, a friend of mine, came up to me and just out of the blue one day said, "What's up, Soap?" Confused, I said, "What?" He's like, "What's up, Soap?" I'm like, "Soap?" He's like, "Yeah, that's what I'm gonna call you. That's your name." I was like, "Oh, is it because I really like Fight Club?" He's like, "Nah, it's because you're the cleaner. Keep your hands clean. You don't get your hands dirty." Ah, we lost. But that doesn't matter. We're just playing, goofing around. This isn't ranked play, which is what I usually play. But, yeah, I'm the cleaner. Keep my hands clean. I don't get them dirty, so to speak. I was like, all right. Didn't think anything of it. And then everybody that I worked with started calling me Soap. And so I had the nickname Soap at my old job. And then while I was transitioning from that job into the job that I'm in now, I decided to make a YouTube channel. And I wanted to be Soap because that was my nickname. But Soap was taken. Thank you, Call of Duty. Kaboom! Good way to start. But yeah, it was already taken because of Call of Duty at the time, and I was playing Call of Duty a lot, and I wanted to be called Soap, but then again, I thought, people are just going to think, oh, it's because Call of Duty and Soap McTavish, cool character, but no, that's not where it comes from. So I didn't want to have to go through that whole thing. So I decided, well, I still want to have Soap, but I feel like I need to add something to it. And so the codename part, okay, I was out of position. The codename part of it is basically, as a kid, and even nowadays, I like spy movies and espionage and things like that. And spies, they have their code names. Like James Bond, his code name is 007. 7? Sorry. 007. And so I thought, codename Soap, codename Soap. That works. In fact, Soap McTavish, that's his code name, is Soap. But it didn't come from there. But yeah, that's how the name Codename Soap came about, is just combining an actual nickname plus something I like, not wanting to be associated with Call of Duty. But, oh, take that, teammate. No, I wanted to pass it to you. But yes, that's where my name came about. It was a little coinkydinks. Oh, no. I really don't like this level of Rocket Labs, the one with the 2 goals. I like Overpass a lot. Here we go. Nah, that was not good. That was not good. No, wait. Anyway, but what else do we have on this list? There's a lot of questions that I'm not going to answer all in one video. Oh, I got hit by my teammate there. Look out. So, we got some questions answered about me. Some questions answered about Draco, because everyone loves Draco. He's cute, he's furry. Oh, look out. Nope. I probably should have boosted for that. Okay. But, speaking of my job, this has also been asked, what is it that I do for a job? So, I'm not going to say specifically where I work, because the company I work for is kind of picky when it comes to things like that. And so I don't know if they're cool with me saying anything about it. But I will say this. I work in IT. Information technologies. Look out. Basically, I repair computers. That's mainly what I work on is computers. But the company I work for, I also repair people's tablets, smartphones, electronic devices in general. Ooh, stop bullying. No! Oh, they missed! They missed! How did they do that? Okay, so yes, someone basically brings me their device and I fix it. That's how it works. Nothing too fancy or glamorous about that, but it pays the bills and I love doing it. I love fixing things. I always have. I have since I was a wee little soap bubble. And by that I mean about 6. That was my first interaction with electronic devices. Was my great-grandmother asked me to program a VCR. And by that, I mean, like, set the date and time and a few other things. And yes, that's VCR. Some of you may not even know what a VCR is. Youngins. But before DVD players. And no, Laserdisc was around. There was Laserdisc, but we didn't have Laserdisc. We had VCR because it was cheaper. It was a lot cheaper. But great-grandmother one day, confused, basically just came up and couldn't figure out how to set the date and time on the VCR and set up like some other functions of the VCR. And so she just gave me the remote and was like, here, have it. So I, without looking at the instructions, just basically figured it out, which may not seem like much. I mean, there's kids nowadays who can pick up like a computer and just figure it out. But at the time, that was, at least for some people, that would have been a big deal. And so she told me, hey, this technological stuff is the way of the future, and you should figure it out. You should be in the field. And so that's what I've done. I never went to college for it because going to college for something like that, in my general experience, and I know a lot of people who have done it, to get a job, they want you to have experience. Hence why there's the meme online of, entry-level job, 5 years experience required. You know, that it's because that's how it is in certain fields. And my field of IT is definitely one of them. There are entry-level jobs out there for IT, don't get me wrong, but most of them, they want you to have some experience, and I decided, instead of going to school for it, to just work. And work I have, and I have for well over a decade now. I've had a job, at least working on computers and stuff, for about 10 or 11 years now, because I love it. Game winner! Game winner! I love it. I love what I do. I always have. I've never not... Oh, I got a little bump from the team there. Snoopy MD. But yeah, I've always loved working on computers. It's intrigued me since I was a kid when I first saw a DOS machine and a DOS prompt and just figuring out like, oh, if I type these things in, then something happens. And I thought that was amazing. That blew my actual mind about how a computer worked when I was a kid. And then I figured out exactly how they worked and how to fix them and all that. So that's what I do for a job. And I actually think here's a good place to wrap up this new part 1 episode of Ask Soap Anything. It'll be kind of short and sweet, and I'll just have a little game playing kind of in the background, so to speak. And we won, and I scored a couple of goals, so all's well that ends well. So I'm going to end this right here so I can hang out with that dog over there. But feel free to keep the questions coming. I do have a long list of them that have already been asked, but you can ask in the comment section of this video. You can go to the Twitters or the Facebooks and drop some questions on there. But for right now, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna get out of here. So, as always, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoy. See you guys later. Love you. Kill everyone. Everyone.
All right, let's take a shot with this wonderful rifle. Bam!